Good morning, everybody out there in YouTube land. Welcome to another episode of the Sidewalk Saint with your host, the Brother Phil. I apologize if the video is a little shaky. It's the best mount, and this is the worst road in West Seattle. That's the best mount I could come up with this morning. And so, but I got a good message, so it's never really about any editing or fancy looking videos to trick you into watching me. It's more about really good content and really good wisdom and things that can help your life and change your life for the better that I bring. So let's get to the subject matter of the video. What is intelligence? I want to start out with a little story my son was telling me about this kid. You know, he's got a 200 IQ and whatnot, and I just kind of want to key in on what really is the IQ test. It's basically a test to figure out whether or not you are the best rat in the maze. It's not really, it's cool that you could know numbers and understand certain things and whatnot, and I know how unintelligent I sound sometimes when I'm talking, but then let me get to the point though. The test is based on who is the smartest rat in the trap. How can you figure out puzzles faster? Let me tell you a little story about my wonderful, wonderful friend. Let me turn this damn turn signal off. My beautiful, beautiful friend, who's passed now, unfortunately, but people thought he was not quite as intelligent as other people. But he was a very beloved individual, this gentleman, and lifelong friend of mine. People were under the impression, you know, maybe something was even wrong with him. I don't even understand what that was all about, because I see past these things. You know, some people are certain ways that are difficult to others, but at the end of the day, they're just good people, and that's all that counts, I think, if you want to get right down to the point. But to get to the actual point of this, the true point of what I'm actually saying is this. This individual may not have done well on an IQ test. Okay? But for sure, his heart intelligence was, at the level of Einstein, if you want to give it a measurement. His heart intelligence, how loving he was, and patient, and understanding, and you know, in difficult situations, staying calm and being decent and having integrity, and just, this guy blew any high IQ individual out of the water on those points. So what really is it that you're measuring? How does that test even apply to real life, I think? So let's just get closer to the point of this video. Well, I believe true intelligence comes from the heart. And let me give you guys a little information that's pretty wild, okay? You want to talk about people that are above and beyond intelligent. Let's name two names and then give examples about them. Einstein and Tesla, okay? Einstein actually wasn't that smart and didn't study very much and was a flunky, okay? He was a flunky, right? He was messing up. I don't even remember exactly how the story goes, but he wasn't doing that great and wasn't considered that smart. He did get some accolades and whatnot, but in his field of study, he was a troublemaker and a problem and difficult. Anyways, point being, if you read up on the story of Einstein, and I'm sorry if my facts are really just very blurry, I apologize. But I'm getting to the point now. The point is this. If you study up very carefully on his story and read up very, very carefully on how he learned what he learned, he didn't learn anything. What does that mean? What the hell are you talking about? He didn't learn anything. He meditated on ideas until the idea was brought to him and the knowledge was given to him. That's what he did. Look it up. Check it out. He didn't read a book to figure this out. He went within. He went to what I'm going to guess, and must have been the Akashic Records. Okay? That's what he did. And that's how he got the knowledge, and that's how he figured out what to do about his theories and what his theories were that he brought forth and now are a staple of science. He meditated. He even said it. That's what he did. Okay? Now Tesla's the same. Tesla is a very even more powerful case to my point. Okay? A very powerful point to my case. All he did was imagine it, and of course, I believe actually Tesla was quite educated and a brilliant genius, obviously. But how did he create his inventions? How did he find out information that was beyond what the books gave him? Well, he meditated. Yep, look it up. Read the book. And if anybody has read his books, the accurate ones, which there mostly accurate ones about his story, he meditated on the ideas. He created his own inventions in his meditations and tested them and then built them, and they worked. Yep, that's right. So what are we really dealing with here on so-called intelligence and IQ? It's like, you know what? Throw it all out the door. And I know I sound like a dumbass even saying anything, but the fact of the matter is all the information of the cosmos is at your fingertips. That's where this video is going. It's all at your fingertips. Everything is available to that individual that takes the spiritual path. Yes, you need the spiritual path. Otherwise, you have to beg, borrow, and steal it if you're on the dark path. That's the only way to get advanced information. And it can be done. But to get all the information of the cosmos, much of which anyone that's in the darkness will never be allowed to even come near, the Hounds of Amente will take care of that. And maybe one day you'll read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, and you'll find out what that even means. But anyways, the sacred knowledge is guarded. And I know I'm sounding pretty weird today, so I apologize in advance. But all that information is available to you. If anyone that's watched many of my videos realizes I have information that's just, it's beyond average information. I'm able to understand things from a deeper level and a more realistic level, and sometimes not so realistic, so I apologize for that. But this is what was done by many geniuses. You go in and you meditate on the idea, and literally you kind of gain yourself for a moment access to the records of existence. And let me give you some more weird information. This planet is a living library of all the best things in the cosmos, and the reason we have so many different kinds of crystals, because I can tell you this, other planets don't have every kind of crystal in the cosmos. Our planet does. A Herkimer crystal, look that up, you want to see something cool. And amethyst. We have all the different crystals because everything's been brought here. This is the library of the cosmos's best and finest creations. So yeah, I know I'm getting weird, so I apologize. And if you think I'm smoking crack, then I get it, because some people may, and I respect your opinion on this. But yeah, so the information is just readily available to those who are at the level that is ready for the information to be given to you. And so as I move higher, or at least forward in my spiritual awakening, I am allowed more information. And the harder you work at it, the more information you'll be allowed. And so that's just basically where the whole video was leading. But I also want to just key in on a note about the children, about teachers being impatient and just wanting kids to do what's in their programs they buy from companies that have the answers for them to just review. And so not really teaching, just quoting from a book. We'll call it quoting, so-called quoters, not teachers. Because my son's in school now, and whenever he asks a question, the teacher says that he's arguing with him, and I know he isn't. And then they complain about that he's not participating. I think I'm hitting it on FM with some parents here. So, teachers out there, if your kid's smarter than your little program, then maybe you're not a competent teacher. So God bless you, but Think about it. Kid can think above and beyond your programs, or even have a more open mind about a possibility of an outcome. Then you just need to have an open mind and not say, just do what's done, I don't want to argue about it. Because you're not a teacher, you're a quoter. You're quoting from your stupid little book that you bought from your stupid little thing, and you got a job, and you think you know it all just because you're standing at the head of the class. Let me tell you something, there's some kids out there that are going to blow you to pieces, that are so far beyond you. And even if you are so graced to have them in your classroom, that they are so intelligent and so open-minded, you need to support them and not be a stick in the mud. So pop out of your box and be able to see past your little program that you bought, your so-called teaching program, which I call a quoting program, because that's all you're doing is quoting someone else, even with wrong answers, by the way, sometimes. And that's also a thing too. But yeah, what real intelligence is, the end of this video, a nice tidbit for you, in my opinion, is heart intelligence. That's real intelligence. The ability to make decisions humanely for others, the ability to think above and beyond yourself and do something for another, not through self-sacrifice though, let me be clear on that. People that like to sacrifice too many things, really, it's just not a good thing to be like that. It's cool to give up something of free will. It's not cool to go past yourself and sacrifice something painfully. That's not what's supposed to be done. That's not how it's supposed to be done. But it turned into a bit of a rant. But you understand where I'm going. These so-called tests of IQ, I don't think even touch the surface of what intelligence is. And at the end of the day, there are all so many different kinds of intelligence. Mathematical intelligence, and storage intelligence, where you can just remember things from everything, everywhere you go. That's a kind of intelligence. And intelligence of the heart, intelligence of the great mind, actually, when you're able to access stuff like that, that's incredible. But not everybody's allowed to have the great mind. And when you are ready, you will, though, the great mind, which is God. Anyways, excuse me for saying it in a way that might not be understood. Anyways, the video went too long. But let's think about what intelligence is and not try to put it in a box. And the most intelligent people in the world are not the rat trap winners and not the puzzle masters that the IQ test would say that they are. So let's move on and understand there are other kinds of intelligence and appreciate those people around us, especially that have that heart intelligence, to be kind and amazing and beautiful souls, whether or not they even know a single math problem or even a single letter or even how to write a sentence. When they're beautiful souls, those are going to be the ones that we treasure the most and the ones that you remember the highest in our hearts and in our minds when we move to our next incarnation. So remember to be the heart-centered person, and remember not to put your kids in a box. And remember that kids are going to be way too smart for these school systems from now on. And teachers, don't be quoting your children. Teach your children. And be patient and accepting. Don't say that that's just the answer. Just deal with it. Don't say, don't argue with me. You just got to do it. Because then you're just an absolute asshole idiot and not even worth being a teacher. I don't mean to say to offend anybody, but I do, because it makes me mad and sad for our learning systems and teaching systems. Anyways, hope this all made sense, and I hope you don't think I smoked crack, because I didn't. Love you guys. See you on the next one.